I'm going to give. Okay. My name is Binen Samuel. I am number 8337, Chief Warder 3. That is the ranking system in prison. And I am the head teacher of Uganda prisons, Uganda prison, Kigo main inmates, primary and secondary school. The school, of course, started sometimes way back, I think something like 13 years from now. This school was launched in 2013, and we carry on, of course, with the very many activities inside there. Of course, the education that we give to these prisoners is not only for them inside here. We are giving them education that can change their life, that can transform them and make them on release when they get out. They become actually law-abiding citizens that can be very productive with the skills, knowledge, and can fit back in the society. And of course, above all is, of course, to improve, of course, to work on the change, to change their lifestyles. And of course, we wouldn't expect somebody who has gone through our hands, especially through prison to school, to go back and be committing sin again and come back inside the prisons. Yes.
Let's start with your experience. What have you observed by the time you opened up the school? What are some of these observations that we can consume in terms of achievements?
Of course, one of the achievements that I have seen as far as I have been in the school, most of the prisoners who come to prison and go through schools, when they go out, they go as change agent, and it is very difficult for them to reoffend, and you find them coming back inside. Maybe on a very, very few and rare occasion, but most of our learners who pass through prison education, they don't come back to prison. Yes.
Speaking to your what are some of these limitations? Of course, resources.
Of course, the limitation we have, they are very vast, they are very many, and the list is actually endless. But of course, I want to thank the Vision Group or the New Vision Publishing Company, and I want to thank the Executive Director for the donation of the textbooks that you have given to us, because that has been one of our major problems, especially when the new curriculum came in. We lacked the textbooks, and of course you know how expensive these textbooks are. So I want to thank you so much for the donation of the textbooks. Of course, we are not only limited, we are not only lack textbooks, the infrastructure also is not all that up to date. We need it to be improved in future. Of course, if you can partner with us also in future and do something about that one will be okay. There are very many things that we need.
Do you mind mentioning a few?
Of course, we may need also the school desk. We may need, of course, ICT program, maybe the internet, those things are also very good. The ICT laboratory. Of course, even our science laboratory is not yet up to date, although we have some few things we need to improve on them. Those are the things that we really... Of course, we have alliance with the Ministry of Education, and of course, we are in the view that in the future, of course, the school is going to be taken by the Ministry of Education, and some of these things which I'll begin getting from the Ministry of Education. But as of now, all the prison schools, especially both primary and secondary, we have only one government-aided school that is in Upper Prison. But the rest of the school, of course, they are still private, and they are still being, actually, most of the activities are being sponsored by the Prisons Department. Yes.
Maybe to understand it more in a lighter note, we would want to know, is the program compulsory or it is optional? And on average, how is the turnout?
Of course, we don't coerce learners. We don't coerce prisoners to come and join school. But we sensitize them. For those who are willing, who may value the importance of education, they come and we register them voluntarily. But of course, when you come to us, we also give you terms and conditions. You should not be coming just for the sake of begin exploring our scholastic material to go and do your own things. Of course, when you come, of course, we would wish you to be in school until when you finish. Until maybe or else when your terms of imprisonment is over, we can still release you. Or in case, if you are a remand or especially on capital offense, if the case decides to release you, that one, of course, marks the end of your schooling. Or if you have appealed against your sentence and maybe you succeeded, you get out. That's how you can drop from the school.
As we wind up, do you have testimonies out there of people who have come through this system and they have gone out there and do wonders?
Yeah, I want to assure you that there are very many people who are working class, especially when you go to Justice Defender. Most of their employees are people who have gone through education, through the education from the prisons. And they have been employed. When you go to MUBS, Makerere University Business Schools, there are people who are employed and they got their education from schools. And to mention, there are also other people whom I cannot recall and mention them all. They are there. So we are not playing around, we are not joking, we are really transforming lives of these inmates.
Such a program that has to be encouraged and promoted more.
For sure. Of course, we would also wish to call for other partners if they can come and partners if they are like what the Vision Group has done. We shall be very grateful. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Of course, that one I wanted you ask me about the enrollment. We have 240 learners. That is in primary. Of the 240, 200 are male and then 40 are female. And then in secondary school, we have 85 learners. Their performance have been very good, of course, all along. By the way, our learners, the moment they reach senior P7 and senior 4, because we don't have the center number here, we always send them to upper prison, that is in Luzira. And they are always among the best performance. That one, I can say it without fear or favor. Our learners have been doing very well, despite the little resources that we have on the ground. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.